certifying badasses one podcast at a time. Teaching you to love Monday. Check your baggage at licensed-to-be-badass.com and hop on the bus to Badassville. Turn up your energy with Mustang Monday. Here once again in the driver's seat is Kelly Orchard.
So hey everybody, Kelly Orchard with Mustang Monday. It's so easy now to just cruise my neighborhood and pick up. That's where I've gone now. It's like I'm picking up people in the neighborhood.
Really?
So this is Bruce Parker.
Neighborhood watch.
A neighborhood watch. I noticed that the light down here is like, oh, I look like I have a halo.
Yeah, well, you know.
I'm adjusting the seat as we're doing this because...
angelic.
Thank you. I'm angelic. There you go. Well, I'm the badass certifier. Hey, everybody. Kelly Orchard with Mustang Monday. I'm adjusting things because literally I live around the corner and I pull up and Bruce is already standing outside waiting for me. So I'm like, oh, well, we're just going, and I wanted it to be really authentic. So
no time for studio setup.
No time for studio setup. I have a friend who's invited me to do a recording with him. He has a podcast called Stories in Steel. So it's all about cars. And so, but I've known him forever. He paints cars and works on, customizing them and stuff. And he's like, when you come out to do the Mustang Monday with me, we're going to put my whole gear in. He's got like a suction cup thingy and all this gear and all this, stuff. And I'm like, I just put my phone in the windshield and away we go, So Bruce Parker. Okay, so Bruce is the husband of Terry Sue Parker, who is the Good Samaritan food pantry. But you are a retired...
Well, my background, I'm a chiropractor.
Right, okay, thank you.
Retired.
I was introduced as this is Dr. Parker, so Dr. Parker, retired chiropractor. What are you doing now?
Well, I've been taking care of... what I'm doing now really is helping chiropractors or people with small businesses become more profitable.
Great.
The crazy thing that I've seen in this world, I pretty much, I was running both ends pretty hard till about 2010, and then I went.
You mean your practice and the business end and your personal consulting company?
Yeah, I sold my practices. I had a chain of them. I had 13 clinics at one time.
Wow.
And I started selling them off for certain reasons, political, legal, things like that. They were going on with some of the law changes as far as owning businesses and having non-competition clauses and things like that were no longer being really allowed in California. So I'd have doctors come in. I'd set up one of my clinics, and they would take the patients and go down the street. And that became, I guess, common, ideas. And so I said, well, this isn't really that fun anymore. So I started selling the clinics I had to the doctors that were working there. And then I was totally out in 2002. And then from 2002 on, I kind of did my passion. I started building spec homes, over in Rancho Santa Fe. Nice, 4,000 or 5,000 square foot homes on properties. And I did that. The only thing I regret in life is not doing that.
Sooner? Or
longer.
Well, okay.
Sooner, but see, in '90 when we had that real estate crash,
right?
We had something like 6 homes in there. Santa Fe sold that year. Mine was one of them, but pretty much, the thing just kind of everything stopped. And I go, I don't like this. I like my old cash flow days, And then after I kind of got out of it, then things took off. It was so much fun because it was creative. And over there, you couldn't really outbuild the area. So whatever you did, if you made a mistake, you just raise the price and get out of it.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
learn something new every day.
Because they were growing. I mean, a house, that you built for, if you had, just $1 million into it, you could sell for $4 million. I mean, wow. It was crazy.
Yeah.
At one time. Anyway, I did that, and then 2010, from that point forward, I was consulting, helping people in their practices, and the one thing that I kept looking at that I thought was wrong was, well, in chiropractic, there's a philosophy in chiropractic as far as health. And the philosophy comes down to health is something that's a natural expression of our body, and we don't take things to be healthy. We are healthy. We have a nervous system that's functioning properly. We eat well. We move well. We think well. And basically it's more of that. People call it holistic. I hate the word holistic for some reason. I don't know why, but they call it a holistic approach. But the idea is whole body. And so so often people saw chiropractors because they dealt with the spine.
Right.
They saw them as people that crack backs.
Yes.
So you only will see a chiropractor if your back hurts.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there for a second because I have a funny story that I don't normally tell very often, but it's relatable to you. So I have a heart issue, or had one, and so this was 15 years ago, and I go to see my cardiologist, and I believe in chiropractic. I have utilized chiropractors multiple times over the years.
You don't have to apologize.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I love them, and so I used but I was having some issues, and it was like back related, but it turned out that it was actually heart related. It was how my heart was affecting, and so I had said to my cardiologist, "Well, I was wondering if it was a chiropractic issue," and his response was, "I don't believe in chiropractors," and my response to him was, well, they exist, and they're not like Santa Claus.
They are like Santa Claus.
They give you gifts of good health. But I do believe that, in the whole body approach. So, okay, so you're helping.
Along with that, though, that's been my great frustration in life, is that my entire life I've been having. First of all, I had my life pretty much changed by a chiropractor when I was 18 years old. I had Bell's palsy. My face was basically, kind of doing this. It wasn't working. Yeah. Try being 18 and walk up to some girl and say, hey, with a face up and drooling.
Right.
It
wasn't not
really,
going to happen.
It wasn't really good for the self-image and stuff. But, and I really understood chiropractic and what it was doing. And I had relatively my life changed to the point that I had a stereo business. I had a little stereo store, and I was going to do that. And my father had a trucking business, and I didn't want to be a trucker. So we did that little stereo business, and then before I knew it, I was going back to college, and got my degrees. And literally, I've been in it for over 45 years now, that industry. But it's been my great frustration that this, like you said, the cardiologist, I don't believe in chiropractors. Right. Well, he doesn't believe in chiropractors because he's never opened his mind up.
Right, or understand it, yeah.
And so on, and they think they understand it. Oh yeah, we'll send you a chiropractor for that backache you have. Not really understanding that medicine should not be compared to chiropractic. Because medicine basically is the practice of treating symptoms.
Right.
And it's also, to me, the anti-badassery.
The anti-badassery.
Because, to me, badass people, what they do is they find the cause of, they find a problem, they get to the cause of the problem, and then they eliminate the cause, and they make things right.
That is the ultimate description of successful badassery. That's right.
Yeah. So in business, that's what I do in business.
Right.
I walk into a business, people go, I don't have enough money, income's down. I got bad, employees. I don't get enough new patients, and all this wah stuff. And I go, well, guess what? Those aren't your problems. What are you talking about? Not my problem.
The problem is your attitude, your mindset. Yeah.
No, basically the problem is they don't have a system that allows them to that's. I believe I had 37,000 patients on my list when I retired.
Wow.
So I've seen some people.
Yeah. Imagine if they only gave you like $1 a month each.
If I had $1 for every dollar I have $1 now.
I know, me too. Me too. But I'd still be in the hole though.
But with the idea though that that I basically took the time. First of all, I was a product of the product, so I learned from a guy who that explained the whole system, how it worked. And so I started. The first person I referred to a chiropractor was a 5-year-old asthmatic. Now, most people say, well, my friend had a backache and sent him to the chiropractor, right? Yeah, the first person I sent to a chiropractor, he was 4. Kevin, across the street neighbor, and his dad was taking him down to the hospital 3 times a week because he couldn't breathe. And he had asthma so bad he had to get a shot of adrenaline. And so I asked him one day, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Where are you going at night?" He told me about the story, and I told my chiropractor. I said, "So you talk about chiropractic can save everything. How about this one? This guy's got asthma." He goes, "Yeah, right. The lungs are not getting properly innervated by the nerves, and therefore it's not functioning properly. And lack of function creates, dysfunction. Dysfunction causes disease. Disease causes disease, and that was the foundation of everything. And so we sent him in to the chiropractor. I went to the neighbor and said, okay, listen to this. We're going to send Kevin to the chiropractor. He goes, what? He got no back problems. I know he's got asthma. I told him my little cryptic story that I knew. I was 18, I think, something like that.
Right.
And we took him down there, after 2-3 weeks, he had never had a heart asthma attack again.
Wow.
Now watch this. His mother hadn't had a normal menstrual cycle in 4 or 5 years, I think it was, and she basically was always having menses, never stopped. And I said, well, and so she learned about this voodoo or chiropractic, and found out that her body was dysfunctioning, it wasn't functioning properly, and dysfunction in her situation was not having a normal menstrual cycle, and bam, she got cleared up. The father, my friend, he was driving a heavy duty grader, whatever. He's a heavy equipment driver. He was having migraine headaches so bad every day. He was taking all the pills he could take while he's driving that thing.
Yeah.
He's waiting to kill somebody or himself and that thing. And then he started going to the same chiropractor he got rid of. So that my first asthmatic referral was a trifecta of 3 people, not totally unrelated.
Yeah.
Asthma, menstrual cycle,
and headaches,
and migraine headaches, severe migraine headaches, and that's where. So my story was so strong. Pretty much anybody I talked to, they say, "Well, there's nothing wrong with me, man. I got a good back." And I go, "Great. I'm glad you got a good back, but how come you can't sleep at night? How come you can't digest food properly?" And well, that's just normal. People believe that sickness is normal,
right? But so when things are out of alignment and it's hitting those different nerves that affect different parts of your body.
Well, we're in the Mustang right now, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Badass Mustang. We want it to be fast. So if it's fast, we're going to have number one. We're going to have a fuel system deliver food to make this thing work. So then the electric system, the electronics, fire, call it the nervous system. And so the thing goes around and they fire, and when they fire, the food comes in or the fuel comes into the piston and ignites it, and it slams that thing down and it makes the crank go around, round, round. So this is chiropractic right here. Because basically, if you don't have a nervous system here,
right,
which is your electrical sources, this thing wouldn't run.
Right.
Take the food away, it won't run.
Right.
Take the electrical away, it won't run.
Right.
I raced cars since I was 18 years old, and the my last few years in racing, I mean, we tuned our car by computer.
It's very interesting that this is all brought up, because as we speak right now, and it says this has only happened in the last week or two, the check engine light is on.
Yeah.
And I've had
put a Band-Aid over it.
I know, I want to. It's like, come on, I know that there's nothing wrong with the car, but what it's telling me is like, there might be something wrong with the motor. You got to go get it checked.
My wife, Terry Sue, she had this little car and still does, and it always ran, and she had a light on there, and it was a $900 switch or some sort of a electrical part.
Yeah.
But it was causing her thing not to run.
Yeah.
And I go, well, if this is a normal American, all we do is put a Band-Aid over that light, and wouldn't want to look at it anymore.
Take a pill.
Yeah.
I mean, when you talk about if we're talking about mental health, physical health, and the metaphor of the vehicles, right? You're right. It's like we would put a Band-Aid on it so we don't see it, or in this instance,
it's fine.
Take some medication, or whatever.
Because my favorite thing is to talk to people. I said, so we broke our arm. We broke our arm, and we went to the doctor, and the doctor basically set it and put a cast on it. And then 8 weeks later, take the cast off, and the arm was healed.
Right.
So what healed the arm? Was it the doctor? Was it the cast?
Or was it the body?
Was it the body?
Right.
And what happened was the doctor created a healing environment.
Yeah.
He basically put things in place, and then and the body, when the bones are opposing like this is called the piezoelectric effect, and it creates this negative positive thing, and it brings products into the bone area and starts building the bone, and it makes this big lump. If those people that broke their collarbones know what I'm talking about, because it's a lump right here, and after a while the lump's gone, because then the body goes in there and cleans it all up. But the body does the healing. Not the doctor didn't do the healing. He helped the healing environment. Chiropractor could have set the bone. MD could have set the bone. Orthopedic, those people. But still, ultimately, body does the healing, and it only does the healing if its nutrients are good, if its nervous system is good, so if it's functioning, it will function.
Right. So then taking that, okay, the metaphor from the car to the body and now to the business, the system of the business that you...
Yeah, and
so that's so easy for you to make this transition because it just makes sense for you.
It does, and people look at me like I'm nuts.
Right.
You know,
I get it though. It's like, okay, new friend. Totally get where you're coming from.
Good, because I can walk into most any business, and it's my passion. I love it. I can walk in almost any business, and I go, oh my, I see all these outpoints, you know, and well, recently, I had called a friend, went to see a doctor, and then they basically have not. She went back for a follow-up, and they didn't have her down for an appointment. They've not run the test they're supposed to run, and I've been wanting to, and you call their office, and the phone doesn't even. They never answer it. They let it go to voicemail. All these little points, you know, people say, well, big deal. I'm a doctor. I don't have to sit there and cater to people. They need me more than they need them. You know, bottom line is, that's not true, because people have to trust who they're going to go see. They have to, you know, the new term now in marketing is know, like, and trust. You got to know, like, and trust people, you know, and that's how you sell your wares, right?
Right.
But I see these things, and it drives me crazy. And then they complain. They go, I need more marketing. What do you mean you need more marketing? Well, I need more marketing because I need more clients. I said, you don't need more clients. You need to learn how to take care of the clients you got.
Yeah.
You know, and most of them don't.
Yeah.
And that is where, when I go into a business, the first thing I say is, I can't really talk to you unless you agree to a mindset shift. And that's, I've not met you before, but I guarantee you have a mindset that says something's missing, and you got to add it to it. This is not an add to society. It's basically a cause and effect society. If you look at most things, you know, that happen in life, it's been caused, and the cause creates the effect. A bad cause can create a bad effect. A good cause can create a good effect. So when people are having low income, that's a symptom. When they're having bad patient retention or client retention, it's a symptom. When they're having, you know, low income or they can't pay their bills, you know, they got, I need more money because we can't meet our overhead and all these things every day. That's a symptom, because, you know, they're not managing their finances properly. So basically what I do, I go in there and I start from the underneath, looking at the cause. I look at the symptoms they have, and then look at the cause of each one.
You're like adjusting the spine.
Yeah, adjusting their operation.
The healthiness of their
operation.
business. Yeah.
I call it their fiscal health.
Yes. Yeah. This is awesome. So this was a good transition for you. So you've been doing this consulting business for how many years now?
I started officially in '92.
Oh, okay. So for 30 years,
Yeah.
almost. Wow. What is your badass tip then? I mean, you have tons of them.
Well, basically, my badass tip is to not look at, to figure out where you are. Look at your life. So if you're having problems, challenges in business or relationships, I mean, God, I go to some of these movies and I go, oh, there it is. They have a misunderstanding, and then the whole movie now is chaos and how they fight and they do all these things because they have a misunderstanding. And until they get the misunderstanding cleared up,
Right.
they're going to continue that problem. So my tip always is to look at things as they are, and then relate to where you are as, you know, we need to fix the cause of that. So I always look at your problems from what's causing them, not what they're on. Realizing that things that are happening in your life, if it's good, it's because of you. If it's bad, it's because of you. And most people will not look at that one. They go, you know who I am? I said, yeah, I know. You know, you're.
Yeah. Well, I run into, you know, so in my psychotherapy practice, I run into a lot of people that have that whole victim mentality. Yeah. And it's not my fault. It's this person's fault and that person's fault and that person's fault. And the answer is they may have done bad things to you, or they may have done wrong things, but it is how you're reacting to it. And that's causing you to have these issues, right?
It's not what's been done to you. It's how you respond to it.
Right.
And and that's really where you'd think I have a therapeutic background, because of the fact that a lot of people like you know, understand these things that in mental health, whatever, that I can't understand being a victim. I would not want to be alive in this world.
It's got to be a lot of work and exhausting.
I
That's what I always say. It's like, it must be exhausting
to think that everybody's against you.
Yeah. Exactly. Because really, they don't think that much about you. I mean, that's the truth.
Well, I always say that when you have problems, half the people are glad you have them, and the other half don't give a crap.
You're exactly right. Yeah, you're the only one who cares about your problems seriously.
Yeah.
Unless you're paying your therapist to do it.
So basically, I put down a tip today.
Yeah.
And then now I'm here without a note.
And that's okay.
It sounded better when I wrote it down. But
did it?
Basically, it's just coming down to not, is to look at everything as it is, and then look to the cause of it, and don't be afraid, to get help. Don't be afraid to have a mentor, especially in business. I was looking at some things. I'm writing some stuff right now. I'm starting to promote my business again. I've not really promoted it in 10 years. I've decided because I'm seeing so many people. I call it sucking your thumb. I'm sorry, but sucking their thumb about their business. This doesn't work. That doesn't work. A bunch of babies. They're all complaining about things not working. And I've been studying a lot of marketing. And everybody in marketing, the answer for everything is more marketing. Well, guess who's winning? The
marketing
marketers.
companies that are paying people to teach them how to do more marketing.
I saw a company right the other day. They're charging they're bragging. These kids are right out of school in chiropractic. This guy said, I did $148,000 in 60 days in business. Now, I know enough about business to know that $148,000 for a brand new graduate probably is they just did a lot of billings to the insurance companies that they will not get reimbursed anyway, because some coach might have taught them how to run these bills that aren't even effective. And but a guy right out of school can't handle that type of business right off the bat. They're too brainwashed. So sorry to say that, but that's just my experience. And then people go, oh my God, you did $148,000. I'm going to do that. And then the guy goes in there and charges them $30,000, for a 1 month program, and in that first month they got to go borrow the money to pay for it because they didn't bring any cash in.
Right, you got to put on your credit card or whatever. Yeah, you're getting more in debt. These are the scams that go on and on and on and on, and it's in every field, in every business. The coach's coach, basically.
Yeah, and a lot of coaches are out there now. I'm seeing. I mean, I'm the old guy in the world, because I see coaches out there now that are 28 years old. And I start talking to them, and they look at me like, where'd you learn that? I go, I don't know, 40 years of practice.
Yeah. Well, there is the thing of this, I remember in grad school there was a story that we were discussing on who would win a fight, a fist fight, like a boxing match, if it was between a younger, more athletic fighter or the older man with experience. And it's like always, it comes down to the older man with experience will win, because even if you're young and vibrant, the older guy will know how to wear you out.
That's Taurus and hair stuff.
Exactly. I
always say that.
Yeah, wisdom always wins, and
Taurus wins, right?
Yeah, wisdom always wins. So basically, the fast track approaches really don't work. You got to play the long game.
And the people that
the people are important.
and that's one of the. If there's an area that I'm trying to address right now the most, to get even notice in this field, is that issue, because most of the people that need the help are the younger people that they're living deeply at effect and as victims.
Yeah.
That this isn't working because of this, and I got to go.
Right.
It's called shiny object syndrome. Now
Yeah.
they're all going out and trying to buy something that's going to save their life. Some object, and I used to call myself the business Sherpa. Because what I did was I helped people navigate their environment called their business, and I would warn them of traps, sirens, and snakes and serpents that were about ready to get them if they didn't know how to get around those people, because they would bring them in.
Yeah.
That old story of the siren, back in the Odyssey days, the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Yeah.
The sirens, they brought them in and killed, and they took them and took the ships into the ground and stuff like that.
Right.
So, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, my wife is a good example. Terry, I got to give a plug for our Good Samaritan.
Did you forget the name? Oh, she's gonna kill you, and I'm not editing this out. The Good Samaritan Food Pantry.
Food Pantry. Now this is the
This is like the ultimate.
This is the badass.
Yeah.
Attitude. She saw a problem. March 13th, she was in a grocery store,
Right.
and she saw people panicking, and she saw old people getting pushed around, and people were hoarding, the stuff, and she left her stuff there. She said, "This is crap. This is wrong." She left the store, came home. On the way home, she decided, "I'm opening up a food pantry. I'm going to feed those seniors that can't get fed right now. Who's going to take care of them during this process? It'll only be probably a couple weeks anyway, but these guys are going to starve." And so she went in there and overnight started a food pantry. She put a red bin out on our lawn right there, and then she spelled Temecula, Operation Temecula Food Drive.
Right.
And she spelled Temecula wrong.
Right. I've heard the story. Yeah.
And so, and about a week later, we got a turkey in there, and we started getting some stuff, and our garage is full right now. And
I know.
And
she's been out shopping. I saw some pictures recently.
we've been in this now for 20 months.
Yeah.
100% donations. Hardly any monetary stuff. So we have incredible electricity bills now. We have like 5 freezers in there.
Yeah.
So, but the point being was, it's been nothing but adversity. Trying to help people by volunteering, getting people to donate stuff. But she has kept her vision so strong. That's why it's making it.
Right. It's her passion that's driving it. Yeah.
And that's an example, because most people would not put up, including me.
Right.
Already a few times I said, "Is this thing really worth it?"
Right.
But the bottom line was, she was, "It's absolutely worth it."
Right.
We got to save these people, help these people.
Yeah. So this is an opportunity to identify, and I think that was your tip, is if you've identified or if you have this awareness that there's a need, whether it's in your business or your relationship, pay attention and start doing something about it. Right? Is that your tip?
Yeah. Pay attention, meaning, if you don't like what you have going on,
change it.
look at what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you like what you're doing going on,
Do
look
more
at
of
what
that.
you're doing.
Right.
So exactly what you said is the tip. You say
Yeah.
it so much better than me.
Hey man, I'm doing this all the time.
You're one of those professionals.
I'm a professional. Yeah. All right, everybody. That's it for Mustang Monday with Bruce Parker. I wanted to share with you really quickly as we wind up is that when I first met you, I couldn't remember your first name. I have an issue with names, and I really thought it was Peter, like Peter Parker, like Spider-Man.
I'd be famous.
I know, they're like Spider-Man, but your name is Bruce, like Bruce Wayne, which is Batman. So you're like a dual, superhero.
Oh yeah, Peter Parker.
So you've heard it before then.
Peter Parker, Bruce Wayne. Bruce Lee. I've been called.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and then finally Bruce Almighty.
Good.
From
Okay.
From Jim Carrey, right?
All right. So I'm not that unique when I came up with this. All right.
Well, you're unique, but I'm more unique, being all these superheroes in one.
All these superheroos in one. I think that's the name of your business, the Superhero Consultant.
Superhero Consulting. All right.
Yeah,
well,
with multiple personality disorder.
and I basically just if I can plug myself for a second, if you ever think something's going on, get it checked out. I will always talk to anybody for free, for half an hour on a Zoom call and help you identify where it's at. If you think I'm full of it, then you can tell me that, and I can go great.
Hang up.
And you can hang up. And if you feel I might have an idea for you, you might want to use it anywhere I go. I'm cool with it. All
right.
Because I do this. It's my passion. I just love help people.
Yeah.
In those areas.
Awesome.
That want to be helped.
That want to be helped. I know, that's the key right there. All right, everybody, Kelly Orchard and Bruce Parker with Mustang Monday, and then you're just going to say that with me, reminding you to
be bold,
be brave, be confident, and be badass.
If you enjoy these interviews, you can watch videos of Mustang Monday on Kelly's YouTube channel, too. Grab your Badass Habits ebook. Get started on your badass journey. Go to licensedtobebadass.com.